So I had to remeasure several times thinking I was losing my mind. The numbers weren't right. But so I don't know if you saw my waist, but it went down an inch.
Woohoo! Yeah, I've seen your waist. I pointed that out.
I didn't hear you.
I pointed that out.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
I kept
definitely.
measuring and measuring, and I was thinking, okay, you can't be that. And I'm like, no, you are that. Just own it.
That's right. Own that shit.
That's right.
You're leaning right into my conversation. I love that win. That's an awesome win. Who else has got one? You all checked in pretty damn good this week, so I know you got some wins. I mean, let's hear them. Here comes Christina.
I'll go. My win is that I got third in the step challenge. I came up from the bottom of the ranks and ended up
Woohoo!
third on the challenge. So super
That's
excited about that.
awesome, Denise. Congratulations. Stepping out. You have a lot of wins, though. You've been consistently on point, too. Fighting those battles, prioritizing yourself over everybody else. I love it.
Pretty hard some days, but I really appreciate everyone's motivation on the team and the tribe. It's really great to hear all the stories and the successes. So I appreciate everyone.
We appreciate you, too. Well done, girlfriend. Who else has got a win for me? I love this shit. Crystal Lewis, type your win up in the comments if you haven't. I know you're probably working, but I know you got wins too, Mama.
Okay, I have a win.
All right, let's hear it.
So I was just looking at my vision board and I was just thinking how many things I've already accomplished mid-year with what I had envisioned for myself. And I'm fucking damn proud of that shit.
You should be. Absolutely. I love that. Jen's leading into my conversation too, and she didn't even know it. Jen and Barb. So listen, guys, who's ever heard of a vision board? That's not the direction I was going to go, but I'm going to ask it. Has anybody ever heard of one? Raise your hand if you've heard of a vision board. Raise your hand with a reaction, Jaden and Crystal, if you guys have heard of a vision board. Awesome. So, vision boards, guys, are just another way of us like really owning our shit. It's something that I like. I did this right before I came over to becoming her with my brand Aesthetic Freedom. And it's something I like to do. So, next year, all of you lovelies that are still with me, we will be doing vision boards. I love to do that. But vision boards, guys, are another way of just stepping into like your power of helping you like you've heard of and there's really, you might say, oh, there's all this woo behind it. But honestly, guys, and what I wanted to talk about today is it's a way of helping you become her. Oh, ironically, you're all part of a brand called Becoming Her. But in order to become her, which is actually why you're all here, you have to be. Jen's heard me talk about this before. And you must learn to be the woman that you want to be. So the woman that you aspire to be. So if she is a size smaller, if she's X percentage body weight, if she's strong as fuck, if whatever she is, some of you guys say, I want to look like you, Jules. I want to look like Jen. I want to look like, well, here's the deal. You must be first. So to be her, you have to do the things that she does. And in order to do the things that she does, some of the ways to help you do that is things like affirmations, creating vision boards, because, and I'm going to get to this, we get stuck in this place of being who we are right now. But a lot of times, and another way that I will say this to women as they're coming in, and I have a reason for this conversation that we're having as well, is when people come in, I say, you have to see yourself there already. You have to, and some of you guys have heard me say this on your check-ins, you have to act as if. So that is being, doing. Different ways of saying acting as if you are already her to have what she has. Does that make sense? And I know it's really simple, and you're probably all going, yeah, that makes sense. Jules, makes 100% sense. Yet, we find all of the reasons to continue to live in the space that we currently are in. We come up with all the reasons, and I am not short of this myself. And I'm going to use reasons, excuses, anything that we can latch on to avoid things that make us uncomfortable. And it doesn't just have to be this journey, it can be anything. We will do and be, and then we have what we don't want to have because we avoid anything that makes us uncomfortable. And we do it by saying, I can't, right? I can't, fucking just can't do that today. It's so goddamn hard. Fuck, it's hot outside. Damn it. I don't have time. My all-time favorite. You just don't understand, Coach Jules. You just don't understand. Oh ho ho. You don't understand, Coach Jen. You just don't get it. Yeah, you're smirking, guys, because we hear it all the time. You don't get it. Oh, we do. And I do the same thing. But these are ways that we avoid being uncomfortable, guys. And it's so easy to do. So I challenge you guys to look, and specifically when things get hard, because we have to like, and I say things a little bit differently. And what made me think of this is we all have our reasons. And there's certain things that are super easy for me to be intentional about. And we have to show up every day with intention. We have to be super intentional about our days. But I like to layer something, and Nicole talks a lot about intention. I use the word discipline, and I believe that they are two, like, I use them differently. I believe that we have to show up every day with fucking intention. We have to intentionally do the things. And we have to have the discipline it takes to do the damn things with intention when we don't want to, because it's going to happen all the time. Jules, I'm just not motivated. You don't understand, Coach. I'm just not motivated. Fuck, I ain't motivated half the time. 99.9% of the time, I'm not motivated to do the thing, but I have to have the discipline to do it anyway. And what made me think about this is today I was out for my morning walk, and I'm working on core control. Man, I can hit nutrition like a bomb. I can nail my workouts hands down. Get up and walk, but man, fucking core control when it comes to my posing practice. I fucking hate that shit. And it's become harder because challenging. I have to be very intentional about it because of things that happened to me in the past, and I lost core control. I used to have really great core control, and I think to myself, this used to be so easy, Jules. Why is it so hard all the time? God damn it, I worked so fucking hard to get core control, and now I don't have it. Now, this might not make sense to you, but I have to have really strong core control to pose. And I want to lean forward. So I have to intentionally think about vacuuming, holding my core tight, standing up straight, walking intentionally down the road, one foot in front of the other. Man, it makes all the difference in the world, by the way, guys. When you have really good core control and you're walking, I challenge y'all. Kate, you're walking right now. Take and lift your chest up. Bring your head right. Actually, do this, Kate. Bring both hands up over the top of your head. Stretch. Yeah. Bring your core in. Everybody stand up. Reach for the sky. Bring your core in. Think about tucking in from the pelvis. So you bring your belly button to your spine, reaching up. Now bring your hands down. You're standing up tall. Your shoulders are back. Your chest is up. You now have core control. Feel different, Kate? Yeah, it's not easy, is it? No. We all do this. I'm exaggerating, but we do. We tuck our pelvis under, right? Literally. You do this tilt, and we walk around. I don't understand why I have a belly, Jules. I'm exaggerating, but it is. So part of core control I don't see y'all standing up. Stand up, reach. You all asked me this. What's core control? And then as you walk like this for a while, you start to notice, like I do, fuck, my right chest hurts. Damn it, I must be rolling myself around. So, where do I go with this besides core control? Intention. We all have things that are challenging to do. And in my mind, the story is playing. This is fucking hard, Jules. God damn it. This is hard. I don't like to do this. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. I got to remind myself to do this while I'm walking. But if I want that fucking trophy at the end of the day, guess who's got to have core control? Guess who has to do her vacuums every fucking day? Me. I say this all so you know that we all live in a place of discomfort. We all have our discomfort, guys, but we have to be very intentional how we show up today, whether it's the nutrition, the fitness, the steps. Kate's being intentional. I'm not saying none of it, anybody else here is it, but right now I can see her off to my left being intentional about getting her steps in. Barb's being intentional. I can see her down below walking around the room being intentional. We have to be intentional about the things that we need to accomplish for the day. I guarantee you, Kate, and I'm only picking on Kate, I know why she's up right now walking, because she fucking hates the heat. So she intentionally is up walking right now because that's what she knows she needs to do. So Coach Jules isn't on her ass about her steps. So thinking about those things, guys. So what's one thing starting in the month of July, because today is July 1st, and I'm going to go around and call on you. If you can't think of it, that you're going to be more intentional about this month.
You know, I'm going to be more intentional about positive self-talk. Um, because I think all of us ladies of a certain age have grown up in such a critical mindset of ourselves. We're fat, we're not this, we're not that. And I saw small sidebar story. I was traveling with my mom, who's 94, and God bless her, she's very active and she's doing really well. But she, again, God bless her, has always been skinny is better. And she's 94. She's not eating a lot, but she's at her target weight, at 94. I'm like, Mother, you're 94. You can eat food. You should be eating food. And we were traveling, and she looked at me and she patted my tummy and said, "Oh, this is going down." And I went, "Oh, yeah, okay." But that mindset, I think we're all, I'm 56. I grew up with Twiggy. I grew up in the 70s. I grew up with the diet, every diet supplement, and I think I get so down on myself and my self-worth gets tied up in the number on the scale, and that sort of thing. And I really want to be intentional about hyping myself up, about being proud of my intentionality. I can be very disciplined on my diet and on, I finished my workout and now I'm on the steps. And I want to be more intentional about cheering myself on because I'm doing the thing, and stop looking in the mirror and going, "Oh, that should be better," or whatever. And I don't want to do that anymore.
I absolutely love that. Thank you, Kate, for sharing, because guys, that is so, so important. It's so true. Who here, like 50 some years old? Yeah, we did. Kate nailed it. We grew up in that era of skinny is better. We grew up with Twiggy and all the supermodels that were rail thin and diets. And, this isn't the first time I heard of somebody growing up in a family that, was of a diet culture. I didn't grow up in a diet. I was in kind of the opposite, but I still, like, that was a thing. Like, we grew up in one or the other, but, with parents that were skinny is better, don't eat the thing, be on a fucking diet, all of the things. And I think, like, that's the number one thing. So Kate nailed it. That's what I mean, guys, when we get hung up on a number on a scale. So I love that intention. And it is like, you have to, that's why, like, sometimes I hear, why do we have to celebrate a win all the time? Or why do you go through all the same goals and things on our check-in form? That's the reason why. Kate nailed it. I want you guys to learn to start to see the different things, because there's different ways that there are progress, and it's not always about the scale. And you have to learn to celebrate the things that are amazing about you, because quite honestly, the scale is never going to tell you the truth anyway. Never is. Like, it's the shape of your body, ladies. That's what you're chasing. Nobody here is chasing a number on a scale. Not one of you is chasing. Unfortunately, we grew up in that era, but not one of you is chasing a number on a scale. It's just not true. You're all tracing a look. I know you are. You all have a vision in your mind of what you want to look like. I want to look like you, Coach Jules. I want to look like you, Coach Jen. I want to look like this person. I want to look like that. I want to look like, it's not a number, and there's no number attached to me or Coach Jen or Nicole or whoever it is. There's no number. It's a shame. Thanks for the share, Kate. Love it. I look for that intention on your check-in every week. All right, who's got another one? I'll be calling on you. What are you going to be more intentional about? Today is July 1st. Let's go.
Okay, so I've been struggling with getting a fourth day in of lifting. So I found a way to do it, and it's happening this week. So I'm excited about it, about making, because that's what I need, and I know it, but I had to figure it out, I guess. And it's in me now, so it's gonna be good.
Good. I can't wait to see it. Thanks, Barb. By the way, when you guys tell me these intentions, guess who's going to hold your accountable to them? Love it. Love it. Thanks for the share, Barb. Who else wants to share? What are you going to be more intentional about this month? We have to show up, guys. If you missed the beginning of the call, it's about showing up with intention every day and having the discipline to do it day in and day out, even when it's hard. Because if you think it's not going to be hard for Kate to sometimes, if you think she's going to say it, not today, not today. And I'm not going to tell myself I'm great today. You think Barb's not going to have a day halfway through this month that she's like, fuck that shit. I ain't going to do that. She's going to you have to have the damn discipline to be intentional every day. Who else has got one for me?
Okay. I'm away right now. I'm at the ocean and I have a place here, but it's like family,
Wait a minute,
friends.
stop.
Yeah.
Why is your coach not with you?
Wait, oh, come. We have room for
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
So I'm here for 2 weeks, right? And it's family, friends, like the holidays coming. We'll be on the beach, we'll be on the boat. We're gonna do all the things, right? So I need to be very intentional about sticking to my nutrition plan and not getting distracted by all the things,
I love
right?
it. Yeah.
That's a tough one for me,
I think it's a tough one for everybody.
right?
Yeah, being intentional. And I'm going to reframe this, not just for you, but I'm going to reframe it for everybody on the call, because there's nobody here that's not going to have this. We're coming into the holidays. Guys, it's not just intentional about your nutrition. I'm going to challenge you, Chris. It's not just being it's being
Yeah.
intentional about who you are as a person and showing up as you
Yes.
every single day, and not being ashamed of who you are, your lifestyle, or what's important to you. Because so often when we're in these situations, it's not that we can't, it's not that we don't want to. We have almost a fear, if there is a little bit of like, what is somebody going to think? How are they going to, I'm not doing the thing. But it could be multiple things. Like, this is how I'm supposed to behave. It's the holidays, it's a vacation. But I like what you said, Christina, and I'm going to challenge you to say, like, it's just you want to be intentional about showing up as yourself, that strong badass of a woman that you are, and owning who you have become and who you want to be. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Especially so, I don't know if you guys were on the call last weekend. It was that birthday, my parents' house, the whole thing. Some of the same people, that are like, why aren't you eating this? Or come on, just have some.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
love that.
no.
And I say that because, and I want you all to hear this. It's about it being intentional. If you want the damn thing that they're trying to give you, you're going to have it. But if you don't
Mm,
want it, it's about being intentional of who you are, saying, I don't want it,
mm,
you know? I
yeah,
mean, and like quite literally, think about it for a minute, guys. If you wanted it, you probably would have picked it up and put it in your fucking mouth, right?
right.
Like literally. And sometimes I've been that, like, if I wanted it, I probably would have eaten it. Thank you very
Right.
much for the offer, but moving on. But I'm being kind of a smart ass here, but I think that's something to think about, Christina, because like literally it can almost become a source of irritation with me now. Like, I'm like, seriously, if I wanted that, I probably would have eaten it. I'm a big girl. I got two
Yeah.
legs. I can pull up my big, yeah, Barb saying,
Yeah, she's giving a
my
thumbs
big
up.
girl pants. And I clearly, if I wanted that, I'd be eating that shit, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
But I think we don't want to do that because we don't want to put people off. We're so used to going back to what Kate said. We grew up in this culture of like, don't do the thing,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
My mom is the
right.
same.
Satisfy the person. Like,
Right?
yeah, eat grandma's food, even, all of the things. Yeah. So just
Yeah.
think
So
about it that way, guys. So it's about, and you're coming into, a holiday, and then there's going to be another goddamn holiday and another goddamn holiday, and we always got something. So yeah, just
hmm
being intentional about who you are, owning that shit. Love it. Who else has got one for me? Trudy, what you going to be intentional about this month? I told you guys, if you do not raise your hand, I will call on you. What you going to be intentional about this month of July?
Well, truly is like you said, showing up for yourself. So I woke up this morning, didn't feel good last night. I woke up this morning late, about 30 minutes past what I normally do. I love getting my steps in the morning. I try to, as Nicole calls it, front loading my steps. So I was already 45 minutes beyond where I started. I live in Florida, so it's super hot in the morning. So I said, you know what, I'm going to get up. I'll just do 30 minutes. So I didn't want to give up completely, but I started my walk and I ended up doing an hour and a half like I always do. So I started the month off with good intentions. So even though I didn't feel good and I didn't want to do it, I got up and I did it. And now I feel great. Just ate my oatmeal, just finished it right here. and working obviously while I'm on this call, but really just showing up for myself. Like I had nothing to lose, but to disappoint myself, honestly.
Yeah, she is,
Mm-hmm.
Barb. She's totally good. She's kicking ass right now. And Barb just said, you look great.
Oh.
You do. And Trudy, I'm going to even reframe this for you guys. And here's what I read between the lines with Trudy, what you just said. And this is something that for all of you guys, you're going to be intentional about your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You're being intentional about your schedule. You're not going to get sloppy. You have to have a schedule. And you're going to be intentional about that shit. So even when it's hard, you're going to have the discipline to say, I'm going to go do the 30 minutes. And then look what happens when you do the 30 minutes. You wind up doing more. So well done. I love that. Who else has got one for me? Sandy Dion, what you going to be intentional about this month of July? What's your intention that you're setting? Like, I'm doing the thing.
I'm actually hearing a lot of support from the other people saying kind of what I want to do this month. I have a wedding this Saturday. My son's getting married. We're going to Scotland in the end of the month for 2 weeks. So I really have to be intentional about, not sticking to the diet, but being intentional with my choices. If I want it, have it, move on, but make sure like I've already built in a little bit of things for the wedding, but making sure that I got my protein drinks. Like I already have a sketch of what Saturday is going to look like for the wedding. So just really thinking ahead, because if you're in the moment, you're like, oh, why not? I'll make it up later kind of thing. And then later you realize that you've had too much and you can't make it up. So if you kind of go in with the intention of, I'm going to splurge a little bit, I might have a few drinks and put that into the build and then build around it. If you have those many drinks, fine. If you don't, then you have something else that you can work with. So I'm trying to be really intentional and really pay attention to like what's 100 grams of strawberries that I can put into my cottage cheese. Like I'm looking at that so I don't have a scale with me all the time. I can still eyeball and be pretty darn close. And so portion sizes, I guess, and the exercise. Right now it's pouring out here. I have a awning over me and I was like, oh, good thing I got my walk in this morning because now it's pouring and I'd have to do it on the treadmill, which isn't as fun. So just a lot of the positive talk for sure. I can resonate with a lot of what's been being said, and those are all things that I could improve on.
I love that. I love that. So, Sandy, what I hear is you're just being intentional, really, to committing to the process. And for those of you guys that are new, I love that Sandy talks about this because and I'm going to pick on Sandy just a little bit. She's going to acknowledge that Sandy was like kicked and screamed a little in the beginning when it came to the reset and the like following the, building the foundation. And she was like, why, Jules? But why? And all of the things. But she did the damn thing anyway. She showed up with intention, like most do, like she intentionally put the footwork in. And what it's been so fun about watching you, Sandy, is now you have evolved into exactly what I wanted to have happen, right? Exactly what this process is about. You are able to navigate, you understand macros, you're able to take your nutrition, your meal, and create and still hit macros and still eat whole nutrition foods and not freak out and do all of the things. That Sandy continues to lose weight. She continues to do the things. She hits her macros all the time. Even when she talks about, going out and enjoying herself, very rarely does she still not hit her macros, her protein goal, her carb goal, I mean, she loves it. She's math and she figures that shit out. But what I love about it, Sandy, is you've had so many aha moments along the way, and oh, this is why we do this, because it's about building that foundation, creating those habits and that lifestyle. And I bring you up, Sandy, because in the beginning you were like, I don't understand how doing this is going to create a lifestyle. Like you had that word diet, like we were even like Kate talked about for a minute in your mindset, and now you've evolved to holy shit, this is a lifestyle and this is just what I do. So every intention here that's been talked about, like you just encompassed in one. And now she's going on vacation. She has all these things to do, and she's intentionally decided to show up for herself and be who she wants to be the entire time. Am I right?
Yes.
I love that. Yeah. Crystal, she's going to be intentional about walking. She's adding a weighted vest to her walks. Well, you go, girlfriend. She's going to be intentional about showing up for herself. Jaden equals Lisa. Well, hello, Lisa. What are you going to be intentional about, ma'am? What's your intention this week? I know we have a call too today.
Oh, sorry. So I usually take off one day from the gym on Sunday, and my intention is to make sure that I am not lazy, which I usually have been doing every Sunday. And even if I'm not working out, I'm walking or, moving around because I just have been so lazy on Sunday. So my intention is to still get all my steps in every single day of the week.
I love that. Intentional about moving our body. I love that. Good one. And that's a good one too. I like that. Moving our body daily. Trisha, what you going to be intentional about this month?
Well, I think, like everybody, I have been resonating with what has been said, especially about the self-talk, and because I'm not very positive about myself, and I want to be. Um, and it's the eating, getting all the damn food in my body every day. Um, and that, Jules, has been hard, but I'm doing it. Feel like I'm doing it. Now, it's taking longer. Like my lunch takes me, it's ends up being two small meals,
Mhm.
you know, and along with the shakes, and dinner tends to be again another two small meals, but I'm getting it in, and that is definitely my intention to continue doing that, whatever it takes to get all the food in my body. Um, and this, in the span of 7 days, I have, 4th of July and my anniversary and my birthday. So there's a lot of things going on that I'm like, I want to be like, oh, you know what? It's a pass, but I can't. Um, and and even I feel like going forward, my birthday is a big deal because I have a twin sister, and we're meeting, in Durango. We're gonna have some fun. And our typical fun is getting trashed every night.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. It is solely my intention not to do that. We're, well, I've planned events. We're hiking. We're, playing pickleball. We're going to be doing things to stay active and be active, and not just sit around going, let's celebrate us and drink the night away. Not doing it this year.
Well, I think we all owe her some fire. That is awesome. Exactly. And I love that you said that, Trisha, because you know what? As I talked about earlier, it's hard, guys, to be intentional and have the discipline to show up. So that's, Trisha, you not just having the intention, but the discipline to do the damn thing, even when it's hard, because we all grew up in these eras. And food and drink and alcohol, you're not alone, girlfriend. Everybody can resonate here with you. Like, these are habits that we have. And guys, this is like why I wanted to talk about this on our call, because we all have these struggles, and it takes intention and discipline to do these things, because we're breaking, like, it's every single one of you had the same call talk with me on the first call. We have this whole container of shit, and we are being and doing and having what we used to do. So we Trisha, you were being this other person, right? And doing those things and then having the end result, but you change that. This is what I want to have, right? You want to have this. So now this is why you're bringing like this full circle for me. You have to be that person that you want to be. We all do. We have to show up. So Trisha's talking about this. Like, this is our first experience. Sandy, it's the same for you. You're talking about this. Christina, it's the same for you. Like, you want to have this thing. So we all have to be that person that lives over here in this have, and we have to do the things that she does to actually have what she has. And it's, and I'm a smart ass about this sometimes, but like my DMs are full all the time, like with other people, like, Jules, I want to look like you. And I'm like, do you know what it takes to be me? This didn't just fucking happen. This did not happen. Has anybody ever seen my before picture? This did not just happen. I had to do the damn thing over and over again. I had to decide to do this. And sometimes I'm like, these, if it was you showing up in my DMs, I apologize, but people will show up and they think like, Jules, what's that magic pill that you're going to give me to show up? No, there isn't one. So I love that you said that, Trisha, because all of you guys are talking about this. And this is like the name of the game, and that's why I wanted to talk about this call, is we have to have that amount of intention, and we have to be that person and do the things that that person does to have that end result. And that doesn't mean like a physical person. I mean, obviously you could attach a physical person to that have, but whatever that is in your vision, whoever it is you want to be, that have that you want, you got to be her. You got to do what she does, and you got to show up like her every day on the hard days, even.
I,
Coach Jen's leaning in because go ahead, Sandy. As I say, I
I,
think
I just wanted to say, Trisha, I totally understand. I think my first probably 4 check-ins with Jules was like, I can't eat all this food. I felt like the bad girl sitting at the table. My husband and son would be off. They'd have already eaten and I'd still be sitting there finishing the food. So it does get better. I can attest to it. I complained about it a lot because I was like, this can't be right. I've never eaten this much food in my life. And believe it or not, Trisha, now I'm hungry in between meals. So it does get better, but I feel you on that one.
Thanks, Sandy.
yeah. And I, like I said, Trisha, I love this. And I think, what you just said, you spoke to everybody about it. Like, you have to, the last thing I'm going to say about what she just said is, I love what you did say, Trisha. You're like, you're going to celebrate you and yay, celebrate me. But, I think we forget we don't have to, we're also taught, like we talked about this in the beginning of the call with this culture that we grew up in. We're taught to celebrate everything with food and drink. But yet you said something very interesting, Trisha. You're celebrating your life with your sister. Why would we want to celebrate it by pouring carcinogenic in our body? Because that's what that is. Alcohol is straight up poison, guys. I'm not telling you. I mean, it has been normalized, but it's straight up poison that we are throwing in our bodies. So, like, if you really want to get down to it, and you think about it, you're like, yeah. And, but I mean, all kidding aside, there's so many different ways to show up. And I love that you have it planned out. Like you're teaching your sister, your family, like, hey, there's other ways that we can celebrate things. Christina, Sandy, you guys have things that you're talking about that you're, showing up for. And I know many of you guys do, but I'm talking to these two specifically because they've got big events that they're at. You're at the beach, Christina. What are some of the other ways that you can celebrate? Like saying, hey, yeah, you know what? No, I don't want that cake, but I do want to go for a walk. Yo, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, actually, what are some of these other things, these activities that you could plan, Christina, with your family, or Sandy, you're going to be out doing these things. Like, it's about, we got to rewire our mind because everybody around us is like trying to pull us off in another direction, and standing with 2 feet firmly planted on the ground saying, this is who I am and who I want to be. I love this shit. Thanks, Trisha. That was good.
I have something to add. It just popped in my brain. So this is what I'm going to use to make it to the gym 4 days a week is what is a hard day? I mean, what's the definition? And so what is driving it? Something's driving it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, did we not get enough sleep? What is it? And I think I've got to use that to make it because you can have a hard day. What is it? I don't know.
Get curious.
Yeah, very.
Get very curious. I love it. And you know what I'm going to add to that, because this is like one of my favorite sayings, Barb. I think you get curious about it and then you choose your hard. Because everything's hard.
Yeah.
Everything is hard. It's hard, like it's hard. Like go back to Sandy, like talking about her food. It's hard to eat the food at the meal, but it's also hard. Your other life was hard too. You didn't like the way you looked. You didn't look how you felt. So I'm just, because it's at top of mind. It was hard to eat the food, but not eating the food was hard too. And I think sometimes we forget that. It's hard to commit, Trudy, to getting up and walking every morning, but it was also hard when you didn't do the thing. So thanks, Barb, for that. Because I think, I love that she said that. And like what I heard her say is, get curious about it. And then once you get curious about it, think about that. Like, well, it's also hard not to go to the gym 4 days a week, or however that is, or not to do the thing, because that was hard too. Love it. You guys are awesome. I see your brains working. iPhone. I don't know who intentional about logging my food. Who iPhone, if you're at work and you can't tell me who you are, And you just said, and who are you? Let me know who you are. Nicole. Hello, Nicole. She's intentional about logging her food.
Oh.
Love it. Who else has got one for me? All right. Speaking of Nicole, I think this is a different Nicole that's on the call. It's not Nicole from Becoming Her, but she did send me a message this morning. I'm supposed to remind you guys that tonight, which by the way would be a really good follow-up to this call, don't forget Leslie's call is tonight, the journaling. And next Monday is that call with David. So Sandy, I know you listen to the podcast. So if you guys listen to the podcast, David is the gentleman that Nicole works with and he talks a lot about the masculine and feminine different energies that we have. So that call is going to be, I believe, Monday, starting Monday next Monday.
Yes, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time.
And then this evening is Leslie.
Yes.
And tomorrow is Coach. No, is it you tomorrow, Jen?
Yes.
Coach Jen is tomorrow, so you guys can show up for her calls if you'd like to. And then when do you do your meal prep calls, Jen?
I'm doing them on the fourth Saturday of every month, but it will just depend on the times. So just kind of play it by ear. It just depends on how I feel.
So the
Might
fourth,
be
yeah.
might be 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It might be 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It depends on what I have going on, So I've got kids.
So you'll announce the time and
I'll announce it, yeah. So, but it will be the fourth Saturday of every month. So,
write
and
that
I'll
down,
just have the replays too. So,
the fourth Saturday of every month, guys. Coach Jen has taken over the meal prep calls well, yours truly is actually who came up with the great idea. It was my idea. And here's why. Because she is fucking fire, guys, when it comes to teaching you how to use these foods that we give you, these guides. You all start out with guides. Why do you start out with guides? Because none of you know how to track food. You don't understand tracking. You don't understand how to fuel your body. And honestly, one of the biggest things that I discovered when I came over to Team Becoming Her, and I was like, hey, Nicole, we have a challenge here. These ladies don't understand what protein is, a carbohydrate. They don't understand. It's not that they can't hit their macros because they don't know what the fuck to eat. So introducing in these guides, that's why we do it. So it's not a punishment for anybody that is currently on this call or may listen into the recording, that we give you a guide to follow. And again, I'm going to lean into Sandy because I love talking about her because she kicked and screamed so much about it. And now she's like, oh, I got it. Shit. Okay. This makes so much sense now. I'm glad you repeated this for me. But the reason is that we're actually stacking and creating habits. And by having you eat these foods, how do you build a freaking muscle? How do you build a muscle? Kate, how do you build a muscle?
Lift heavy shit and eat your protein.
Yeah, and repetition, right? Yeah.
Progressive overload.
Progressive overload, exactly. You got to have that with your nutrition too. You got to put in the reps. You got to have that progressive overload with your food. So literally, this is what these guides are for, is we want you to put in those reps. And so where I'm talking about Coach Jen, as I got distracted, is she is the queen. She is way better than I am or any of us any of us coaches, on how to take these foods, because there's really only so many lean proteins out there. There's only like these foods, and she can take them and like sprinkle her magic all over them and make them taste like 50 million different things. And the other bomb thing that she can do too is she's got a husband and two little boys. She doesn't, Crystal Lewis, and I know you were in on her call, she doesn't create 50 million different meals for her family. She cooks what she cooks for herself, and these are the things that she will teach you. So The fourth
Yeah.
Saturday of every month, guys, if you are in my DMs, if you are on your calls, if you are messaging me or any of your coaches saying, I don't know how to make this food taste good or different, then you best be on her calls because she's going to show you how to do that better than anyone in this whole coaching group. She's also, if you struggle with how the fuck do I use my fitness pal, she's also going to teach you the simple ways of doing it because you can walk out of this program with oh yeah, look at my new picture on my phone. You can walk out of this program with a library full of meals so
Yep.
that like she's going to teach you how to use my fitness pal. Right now, Coach Jen is I coach her. Do you know that Coach Jen has a coach? It would be me. I've been her coach forever. Like currently, I don't write her a meal guide. I'm like, here's your macros, follow them.
I got lots of
And
recipes.
she's got,
I'm
yeah,
like, oh, I haven't had this in a while. Oh, I'm gonna have this.
she's got her
Yeah.
favorite meals saved in my fitness pal. I know that she does. I'm like, take your favorite meals, build your own meal plan.
Yep.
And that's what she does. That's why we teach you guys to do this because to be honest with you, you're never going to wing it when it comes to
No,
nutrition.
no.
You're never, like even if my coach has me on macros, I can't wing it. Like if I wing it, I'm going to end up at the end of the day, like every single one of you going, where the fuck is my protein? I didn't hit it, or I
Yeah.
didn't hit I'm going to be trying to shove fats in my mouth or something. Like even if I'm just following macros and I'm not following an actual guide, I have to plan out my meals for
Yeah.
not just the
Yeah.
day, but the entire week, or I'm screwed.
Right.
It's not like, guys, this is what we say. It's not a lifestyle, which is again why. And I'm like, I got to get to my ass to the gym. But again, it's why we start you out with this like ridiculous, like you're like, what the fuck is this guide and why is it? Again, it's not just because we're teaching you about meals, guys. We're teaching you like this whole structure because this is a lifestyle. It's not a damn diet.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle. And we're teaching you like and giving you the tools because you're going to be building meals for the rest of your life intentionally. Like, will you intuitively eat every once in a while? Shit, yes. You're going to go off to Scotland and you're going to have, like, yes, you're going to intuitively have, you're going to go camping like Coach Jen did the other week, and you're going to intuitively follow your nutrition for a while, but it's not something you're going to do forever. You might do it for a day or two or a week or a weekend, but then you're going to come right back on track because trust me, you're not going to intuitively eat your food for the rest of the day.
I'm
Like,
gonna
you feel,
intuitively eat what looks good.
even Nicole, listen, I hounded her for an entire week. I'm like, oh, you don't eat as much as you think you do. She's like, no, you don't. I won't. No.
She was lacking in the carb department too.
Yeah, as I trot around watching her eat, yes, I'm like, no, you're not, no.
Okay, so when I did our meal prep on Saturday, I did some kebabs because I hadn't done them in a while. I was like, oh, that's summertime. It sounded kind of good to do some kebabs. And then I did some meatballs. And as soon as I was done, like I had the food out there, both my boys were like, oh, can I have a meatball? Oh, I want this kebab right here. Like it's like came and ate it. Like if you don't have any other choice other than what you are cooking for them, they have no choice. Either they're going to eat what's there if they're hungry enough, or they're just not going to, and then they can figure shit out on their own. It's kind of how I do it at my household.
That's a good attitude. I love that. I love that. And it's all in how you cook it too. Like, I know you do this, Jen, too, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. Like, and Jen, Nicole does it as well. And I ate it actually this week. I was like, damn, that's fire. Like, there's different ways of cooking your meat. Like, I know you smoke your chicken, and so does Nicole.
Nicole, yeah,
There's
yeah,
so many different ways, guys, of skinning a cat,
yep.
so to say.
And seasoning, flavors, different. It doesn't have to be boring and bland. So,
Unless you want it to be.
unless you want it to be.
I'm good with that. But anyway, guys, that being said, the fourth Saturday of every month, there should not be one person ever showing up saying, I don't know how to season my food. My food is boring. I don't understand how to track macros. I can't operate my Fitness Pal. Trust me, the fourth Saturday of every month, Coach Jen has got you. So
I
show
got you.
up with
Yep.
all of the questions, and you're literally cooking in her kitchen with her every Saturday.
Yep.
She does it on Saturday, so you can literally see what she's doing. I think that's fucking fire. All right, guys. Keep kicking ass. I look forward to all of your intentions this month. I'm going to intentionally take my happy ass to the gym right now. I'm going to walk tall with my core engaged. Everybody can ask me if I did my stomach vacuums on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, weekly basis. Fuck that. All right. Have an amazing day, guys. Don't forget, you have Leslie's call tonight and next Monday, Coach David. All right. And Coach Jen on Wednesday. Peace.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.